what is going on? What? Okay, we are back, people. Highly requested. We are back. You know.
Yo.
We have had a prop talk episode 4 of the 5 days this week.
Yeah.
We're giving the people what they want. You guys begged for us.
And if they don't want it, it's too bad.
Sucks for you.
It's our job. No, I'm just kidding.
So, anyway, we are back. We are chatting. Drop a chat and say what's up. We are here. Mike, I got to ask you something, though.
Sorry, it's Friday. I'm a little
for the people that are tuning in, I see on here on this little rundown situation, we've got a little section called Live Beef.
Beef.
What's going on with that?
Well, let's get through the chat, and then we're gonna have to ask the chat to do something for us if you don't like my question that I have for you.
Wow, a little bit of pressure.
Yo, trying to fix.
Are you okay with your hair?
I was about to say, trying to fix my hair like the revert. Just forget.
Okay.
Just forget it. The people are already interested in the Live Beef. What's going on, everybody?
Pull your little Jerry curl down so we can be twins.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Just run it like that.
Anyway, you guys, we have apparently there's beef.
No one's chatting.
You guys are making me kind of mad now. I mean,
oh yeah, Kyle guy did miss an absolute dunk. That was tough.
That's yeah.
That was tough.
Ouch.
That was tough. I'm really disappointed in the chat right now, guys. I'm being totally honest. It's a Friday. Somebody get in this chat and say something funny.
Get in here and give us something because
you
guys are be mad right now.
Wow. Aloha. Chef Curry ready to go off again. I totally agree. Little wrist flick. All right, you guys are done with the chat. Listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you don't like my question, then we will go to the chat. But the Live Beef segment is going to be Liv and I will have a conversation about something away from sports. So you guys get a little insight about what we like.
Oh. I have fans, Mike. They have my back regardless.
About what we like outside of sports. So my first question is, let me just fulfill Jeremy's request really quick. All right. My first question is, Liv.
Yes.
Savory or sweet?
Savory.
Shit.
Okay, I've got one for you. Mike Beef. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Wow. This is really not going well, huh? Hey, Chad, put like a controversial, do you like mayo?
No.
Wow, this is going awful. Chat, put something, chat, clip that? No, chat, just put something controversial in here and Liv and I will beef about it.
I know this is sports related, but we could talk about this. MJ or LeBron? Who's the GOAT?
Michael Jordan.
I was going to say the same. Okay.
Okay, I'll say, peanut butter and jelly or grilled cheese. Which one?
Peanut butter and jelly, but it has to be strawberry jelly, not grape.
Bro, you're capping.
No, I'm not.
Bro, you're capping.
No, I'm really not.
You're gonna take a couple nuts crushed into a butter and some berries crushed into a jam over a couple of
bread and cheese. Bread and cheese
over a couple slices of cheese melted down on a toasted piece of bread.
And you know what's making me more pissed about this conversation is I know for a fact you do the bare minimum with grilled cheese. You probably have 2 pieces of white bread and that fake square piece of orange cheese and you slap it on there. You probably heat it up.
Well, first of all, let's not talk shit about Velveeta. Say its name if you're going to talk shit about it. It's called Velveeta. But no, I don't. I go cheddar, Munster, cheddar. It's a 3-layer deal. And the white bread is toasted and then put on the pan with butter. You're
capping. You do not take that much time to make your grilled cheese sandwich. If it turns out that good, your mother's making it for you. You are not making your grilled cheese like that.
Let me guess what you do for your peanut butter and jelly. Hey, Mom. Do we have white bread? Maybe some Skippy? Maybe some strawberry jam? Okay. And then you probably make your peanut butter jellies on a dry piece of bread. Like, you don't even like toast it or anything. It's just like straight out of the plastic, just dry.
You said Skippy. No, listen. Actually, J. Grove, yes. Uncrustable strawberry peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
They'll slap.
Those slap so hard. I'm telling you
No,
right now, if there were one thing in this world I had to live off of for the rest of my life, Uncrustables.
That's cat. But yeah, they slap.
Don't tell me what I will do. Don't tell me what I do. Okay.
If you're telling me right now the world is like coming to an end and everyone gets to pick one thing to live with.
Okay.
I mean, that was such a classic Nick burn, just like really rude. like no LOL at the end of it to lighten it, just like live as 5.
Okay. You know what? First of all
right, but we're not going to beef the whole time because there is a game tonight.
there is.
And I'll be eating grilled cheese.
There's going to be enough beef on the TV tonight. I have a feeling. A little bit
I don't know what program you watch, but
let me know.
There's going to be beef on my TV, you know?
All right. Okay. Just let me know when you're finished. Let me know when you're wrapping it up.
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there is a game. Grizzlies versus Warriors. Let me tell you something. I have been a little bit disappointed in this play-in tournament. I have.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you.
I've been disappointed because I've been expecting energy, electricity, to the wire. 2 teams hungry for playoffs. Let's go. What are we seeing here? We're seeing little boys getting spanked on the bottom and put in timeout.
It's graphic.
That's what we're seeing. And it's horrible. This is horrible basketball. This is not what I signed up for. This is not what I want. This is not what I like. I'm over it. But anyway, regardless, we have games. We're getting NBA. And we have a game tonight that I think we need to talk about because it's the last. This is the last step. This is the final step. The final countdown. Posting my player double. Ow. So here's the deal.
Let's go, Jeremy.
I find this very interesting because when these 2 teams face off, match up, whatever you want to call it, there's 2 faces on the screen, right? Morant versus Curry. Why are we putting those 2 in the same category? If anything, we should have Valanciunas up on the screen versus Steph Curry because my boy Chooney's carrying the Grizzlies on his back right now. John Morant has not been doing enough to be having his face plastered all over the screen, acting like we're having a MMA fight-off night. What's going on? Steph Curry? Steph Curry could wipe the floor with John Morant. Sorry, did I miss something? What was funny?
You said
okay.
You said match off.
Okay. Regardless.
And then you said fight up. Listen, when they have when you've got a face when you're looking at this face matchup. No, when you're looking at this face match, I agree. You know, the 2 faces obviously is going to be it is 5:00 somewhere. But when you're looking at this matchup, right, the 2 names you're going to think of immediately are Steph Curry and John Morant. Why? Because John Morant is the Grizzlies' quote-unquote best player. But currently, he's not their best player.
No.
Their best player right now is Valanciunas. And who matches up best against a Warriors team with basically no center? I don't want to discount Kevon Looney because I think he played really, really well against the Lakers. Yes, but listen, Andre Drummond is washed. No, I'm just kidding. Andre Drummond did not play very well, and Anthony Davis cannot play the 5. He only put out decent production as the 4. So when you think about Valanciunas coming up against Kevon Looney, this is going to be one of his toughest matchups this year, going up against Valanciunas for a full 4 quarters. So, I mean, when you're talking about the faces that I want to see on the screen, I totally agree with you. I think it's got to be Steph, and for tonight at least, it's got to be Valanciunas. But Valanciunas doesn't sell tickets. John Morant does because he's going to dunk the ball and go crazy and. You know.
Oh, what do you know? Do you work in the box office?
Yeah, I don't work in the box office. That's for sure. But listen, I've got We do have picks for this game. I know you guys are sitting here going, it's been 11 minutes. I haven't even heard a pick yet. But here's the pick. Listen, my first pick for tonight's game, as you guys know, I'm big on Jordan Poole. So my first pick for tonight is going to be Jordan Poole over 13.5 points. Now, for the sake of full disclosure, I did tease it up to score 15 plus for the juice, as we call it. That just means it's juicy, it's plus odds. I did tease it up to 15 because I think, listen, if he's going to get 13, he's going to get 15 against his Grizzlies squad. So I really like Jordan Poole in this matchup. I think over 13.5 should hit. He got 10 against the Lakers, but the Lakers are a little better defensively than this Grizzlies squad. So I love Jordan Poole coming off the bench and getting some good production.
I love it. So I'm going to start with my points prop first because I'm going to stay on track with what you're talking about. You just brought up Jordan Poole to kind of be a solid scorer for the Warriors. For the Grizzlies end of things, while I know that Valanciunas is going to have a great night, I also like Dillon Brooks tonight over 20.5 points. This is like the first, I really haven't ever paid attention to Dillon Brooks as a player, but now I'm seeing him. When I watch him play basketball, he's very aggressive. His hustle is unmatched. He's a baller. I mean, just to put it simply, he's a baller. He has been playing very, very well. I like this matchup for him because based on the rotation, Mike and I were kind of looking at this. I think he's going to be going up against Bazemore. And then I think we'll have Andrew Wiggins on Kyle Anderson. So I like this matchup for Dillon Brooks. I think he's going to have to score very well tonight. And I think he will score very well tonight. And I like him going up against this Warriors team. He plays very high on offense. You know, he's got this aggression on defense, but when it comes to, if he's got a good look, he's shooting the ball and he puts himself in positions to be available for these great looks. So I like him to have a really big night tonight, hit that over 20.5 points. I think he's going to be the scorer for the Grizzlies tonight. Between him and Valanciunas, those are the guys that I'm banking on to keep this game close.
Yeah, no, I love this matchup for Dillon Brooks too, because you're totally right. I think Andrew Wiggins, just for matchup sake, is probably going to have to match it up against Kyle Anderson, who I think is going to pretty much be a non-factor in tonight's game. Nick, clip that just in case he drops 30, so we can flame me. But I don't think Kyle Anderson's going to do a lot tonight. So I think if you're the Grizzlies right now, your first game plan is let's hammer it down low with Valanciunas and see what happens. And if you need any production from beyond the arc, really the only two guys in the Grizzlies that can throw up that three ball right now are Jaren Jackson and Dillon Brooks. And Dillon Brooks is obviously the clear-cut better scorer as of right now. So I think if you're looking just points production, I think Dillon Brooks is a safe bet. But those aren't our only props for tonight. I've got another one too, but I'm on the Warriors for both my props. I guess you could say for all three of the props we're giving out tonight. But my other prop is Stephen Curry over 5.5 assists. Now, he's done this in 4 of the last 5 games, and I honestly love this prop for him because Stephen Curry right now, with the way the Lakers are being defended, he draws double and triple teams almost every single time down the floor. So when you're thinking about what does Stephen Curry have to do, if Draymond Green in that high screen doesn't get him away from his defender, he's going to have to pass the ball. And for the Warriors to stay in this game, the role players are going to have to hit their shots. Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, Kent Bazemore, Juan Toscano-Anderson. These are guys that are going to have to hit their shots. And I love Stephen Curry to get over 5.5 assists, maybe even 8.5 tonight, just because I feel like the Grizzlies are going to have to bring that pressure. And he's going to have to deal the ball. And the Warriors are going to have to score off those passes or else they're going to be dead in the water because Stephen Curry, as we know, he just can't do it himself. But as you said, Liv, before the show we were talking, when Steph Curry is on, the Warriors are on because they play to his level. So if Steph Curry comes out the gates firing, you can expect the Warriors to be firing. But when he struggles, the team struggles because he's their lifeblood on the offensive end at least. Absolutely.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think this prop hits pretty close to the first half.
It'll be like, splagack, and then I'll turn around and be like, oh.
I hope that's not what he's like tonight, or we're in for
me
it.
Too.
What I think is going to happen is I actually really love Grizzlies' first half tonight. I think this team, you and I both talked, I think the Grizzlies have a stronger starting lineup than the Warriors do. So I like the Grizzlies to come out hot, to really put the pressure on Steph Curry, which will force him to pass the ball. I think he damn near hits this over before halftime because I think pressure is going to be heavy on Steph.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Grizzlies are going to really be hanging in there with the Warriors. They may be up at half. I like first half for them, but we all know that Steph Curry is built for games like this. He is great under pressure. He knows exactly how to rally this Warriors team and say, hey, we're down at halftime, but we're winning this game. And they always seem to figure it out. And for whatever reason, he starts launching these 3-point shots that aren't even guardable because they're so far out. You're not even prepared for him to shoot the ball, and he's shooting it. I said this to you, Mike. We were kind of talking back and forth about we don't know which side of this game that we really like. I am worried about the Grizzlies, and the only reason I'm worried is because if this Warriors team gets hot from that 3-point line, it is gonna get
it could be over.
It's gonna get ugly fast because
could be over.
You've got these different players. Not only do you have Steph Curry that's great from the 3-point line, you've also got Jordan Poole off the bench who knows how to shoot the three. Kent Bazemore proved that he's capable of shooting behind the arc up against the Lakers team. So you've got these really great shooters on this Warriors team, and I think they're kind of bred for moments like this of like, hey, this is it. This is it. This is our only opportunity, so figure it out. And I can see this Grizzlies team really putting the pressure on Steph early. He hits this assist over because they're putting so much pressure on Steph and he's hard to guard. I can see them getting tired. I could see the Grizzlies falling apart in the third quarter, even more so in the fourth quarter. And I think we're going to see the reverse. I think we're going to see a really, really hot Grizzlies team at the start. Then they're going to get tired, and then we're going to see a really, really hot Warriors team come out second half and just shoot the lights out. That's what
hopefully as a fan, it's a dogfight.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping we keep it close, and I'm hoping that, between Steph and Valanciunas that we've got a really, really solid matchup here. But I love this prop because I think pressure is going to be heavy on him, especially to start, so that the Warriors don't take off with too strong of a lead, because we've seen what that's done in play-in tournament. If they take off with a strong lead, it's unless you're the Spurs, you're not coming back from that.
Quick leads are tough to come back from in the play-in.
So I'm thinking that Steph's going to be guarded very well in the beginning, and I think this is a great prop. I do. I love it, in fact. My second prop for this matchup, we do have, of course, a little party prop for you guys. We always do. But my second prop for this matchup is Giannis Valanciunas over 35.5 points plus rebounds. I know that some of you guys grabbed this at 33.5. I wanted to be transparent and put the 35.5 because I didn't want to give you guys a stale line, and that is what the line is at right now. This is the very bet that I bet on with this team up against the Spurs the other night, and it was electric. I think he ended 23 rebounds, 23 points. This guy knows how to ball. There is not anyone on this Warriors team that knows how to defend Valanciunas. He knows how to not only get the buckets, but get the boards as well. He has hit this very, very consistently. And keep in mind, he's also going up against a Warriors team who allows the third most rebounds in the league. They struggle with that. They always have struggled with that. My favorite bet up against the Warriors team is betting a rebound prop. I love betting rebound props against this team. Of course, I did that with Andre Drummond, and it didn't work to my favor. But 9 out of 10 times when I bet that prop, I like the result. And I think Valanciunas is a strong guy, not only on offense, but also on defense. So this is kind of a perfect prop for him. I don't ever like saying that there's a lock in sports betting, but this is a prop that I feel pretty comfortable placing with him 9 out of 10 times, especially in this Warriors game, because I think this is a very, very great matchup for him. Like I said, there's not very many people on the Warriors team that are capable of guarding him. And so, I'm really liking this matchup for him. And I think that he's going to have a really, really solid game and not only score a lot, but also grab those boards. Mike, what's going on?
Listen.
Okay.
I know we see that header. And I know you're reading it right now. And let me break it down exactly what this is about. It's a pool party tonight. And the pool party prop.
Okay, I'm embarrassed right now.
The pool party prop that Liv and I are both riding tonight. Wow, that sounds messy. Let me rub this a little bit. The pool party prop that we're going to be riding tonight is Jordan Poole over 2.5 made threes for the absolute juice. Now, the reason why this is the pool party is because Jordan Poole's last name is Poole, and pool parties are amazing, and it's a Friday night. So what else would you want to do other than root for Jordan Poole to bang threes? All he does is bang threes. When he comes off the bench, Steve Kerr goes, "Hey, Jordan, bang some threes." And he goes, "Yes, sir, Steve." So that's what's going to happen tonight. The Grizzlies aren't going to be able to guard the man coming off the bench. So it's a pool party. I'm in my attire. I got the bathing suit on. And I'm ready to go. I'm sunscreened up.
Yeah, we see that.
It's a pool party. Come on.
I know what it is. Yeah, I know what it is.
Wow, listen, I'm excited. I also love the small sunscreen. I think it smells good. So
I guess I'm thinking like if that's how you stand and dress and behave at pool parties, like you're not getting an invite to mine.
I don't think I'm doing enough, Mitchell.
Where are your goggles?
I didn't bring my goggles, Mom.
Don't call me mom. I will end you. Do not call me mom. You already talked about that. I mean, I really couldn't even like understand what you were saying. I was too busy looking at the Captain Morgan stance with the.
The fit goes crazy, so I understand.
No, the fit does not go crazy, and that's not why I got distracted. Anyway, yeah. So we're on the pool party tonight. I mean, bring your hot dogs. Bring your
glizzies.
Bring your glizzies. Bring your burgers. Bring your inner tubes. Let's have a good time.
Let's have a good time. Jordan Poole over 2.5 threes. You like it too, even though you didn't talk about it. It's fine. Let's bring out the guests. JP Hoops. Bring in the triple box.
What am I walking into right now? I mean,
it's a lot.
This guy
walking into a lot.
He's watching his kids at the pool rather than participating in the party.
Yeah, I know. Now you understand. Now you understand what I deal with every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I mean, this man is something. He's always got a trick up his sleeve. That's what I will say.
And now you're working overtime on a Friday. Look at you.
Overtime on Friday.
No days off. No days off. Booga does not sleep. JP, what's going on? How are you? I know you've been doing a lot of betting on basketball. Not only that, but you also have a podcast. I would love for you to tell people a little bit about your podcast so they can tune in. Where can they find you? What do you talk about? Just start there.
Yeah.
We scared him. It was the chest that you're showing in the shirt. Chest. It was the chest.
It scared him away. Listen.
The chest reveal it freaked him out.
This one's for Jeremy. Dude, that felt so good. I'm not even kidding. I just can't believe that missed.
Maybe button your shirt a little and see if it works better.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't say unbutton. Jesus, Marion. Oh, he's back.
We're back.
Turn your phone to the side so we can see you all the way.
I've been in the studio now for an hour.
We're falling apart.
And no problem. And of course, right when I come in, my computer decides to kill.
That's how it works. That's how it works every time. Every time.
Technology in the 21st century.
Yeah.
So tell them a little bit about your podcast.
Right. But as I would say, yes, JP Hoops, especially now that it's playoff time, we are pumping out a couple podcasts a week. Been covering the NBA all season long. You know, I put my betting picks on Book It if you want to follow me at JPora. Check out the Twitter handle. It's right there. And it's all basketball, all NBA all the time. We've been covering the play-in tournament, MVP races, and now that it's playoff time, we're talking about the good stuff. And this is where it really matters. All of these regular season games, yeah, they're great. I've been following them all. But now I got the insight for you to make your picks on all things NBA up and through the NBA Finals. We're ready to rock and roll.
Talk to him.
I'm excited. You listen behind the scenes on the props that we like tonight. Do you agree with them? Do you think that there's somewhere we went wrong? What are you liking tonight in this matchup?
So the one thing that you said, Liv, that really caught my attention was that you think Memphis is going to come out big in the first half. And I understand your reasoning that they have a better starting lineup than Golden State. They're going to want to come in hot. They took a big lead on the Spurs in the first play-in game pretty early. But if we match them up against the Warriors, a team that definitely doesn't have as good of a roster as the Lakers, and you see what Golden State did in that game, they took a lead early. They were able to jump out. Steve Kerr kind of knew that Curry had to be the guy to get the points going early in the game, and that's how they were able to even keep it competitive for the most part. So if Golden State wants to come out with a win tonight, I think they're going to have to do the same. They're going to have to jump out early, get to a big lead, and kind of just hold on and pray to God that Steph Curry keeps doing what he's doing, because if he doesn't do that, they really don't have a shot to win. Memphis is way more complete. They have Valanciunas, who I agree, he's been putting up 20 virtually every night. So they have no one to stop him. Draymond Green is not going to stop him from getting those easy layups around the basket. So that's
No,
the only
not at
thing
all.
that I disagree with. I
Okay.
understand the Jordan Poole obsession. So I'm not gonna hate on that too much. Don't get me wrong.
People
You
love
came
it.
all prepared for it. So
I'm prepared.
we'll keep it at that.
I'm prepared.
I love that you brought that up because I think that it's good to keep in mind that, yeah, we could see two different versions of this first half with this Warriors team because we've seen a lot this season with them about, kind of how they do have that slower start. But in terms of this play-in tournament, we have seen them kind of start a little bit faster and get that lead early. So you guys head to the Book It Sports app, and we've got JP Live Beef. You can use the hashtag, okay? Memphis first half or Warriors first half. That is the toss up there. But no, I love that you're giving me feedback on that. That's right. I love it. I would love to hear your thoughts on maybe some betting tips that you have for people going into the playoffs, because I think Mike can agree and talk about this a little bit. This NBA season has been
nutty,
whack, weird, just
odd,
out of control. So I'm very interested to hear what you have to say in terms of some tips that people can hang on to and keep in mind when betting the playoffs. Maybe how are the playoffs typically different from regular season play? What does that look like, and some advice you have for them?
Yeah. So one thing, and I know it's going to be disappointing to a lot of people, is that playoff basketball is a lot slower paced than regular season basketball. So if you're into the totals, you have to become an under guy at some point, because all of these totals are juiced up because of the regular season. You see teams like the Nets putting up 120 points per game. You see games going into the, flirting with the 300 range in totals. No. Once the playoffs come around, and we saw it over the last 3 nights, 3 unders hit every single time, other than the Wizards-Pacers game, which was damn near unwatchable by the end of that game. I mean, it was ridiculous. Yes, Washington put up 150 on Indiana, but other than that, I mean, you're going to get a lot of unders when you go into these games. I think that's super important. When you look at the series that we're going into, there's a lot of value that I'm seeing in a couple of these series prices. I see that the Lakers are only minus 160 against Phoenix. I mean, we saw it last night. If LeBron, 2 nights ago, if LeBron and Anthony Davis are healthy, there's no reason they're not going to win the Western Conference. So I would definitely kind of take the juice on that one. And then you have Denver plus 115 against Portland. I mean, Nikola Jokic is going to win the MVP, whether you agree with it or not. His team's been doing really well, even without Jamal Murray. The fact that they were able to salvage the 3 seed in the West really just shows how dominant he is. And I don't think Nurkic is one to kind of give him much trouble. I mean, we saw this series 2 years ago where Jokic was fat and playing 45 minutes a game, and he was still giving the Blazers buckets. I think there's a lot of value in a lot of them. And
listen here, you guys. Jokic fat could fall on you. So when he loses weight, you're in for it. All right.
Yeah, be careful. Fat Jokic was dangerous, but skinny Jokic is a weapon.
An MVP season.
I love that. It's so true. It's so true.
What happens when they play the Lakers? It's different, but one thing that I will say is that everyone is in love with the Brooklyn Nets, and I understand. Yeah, Harden, KD, Kyrie, that's a super team, but they're going to have to go up against either the Heat or the Bucks, 2 teams that have given them trouble all year long. And if they somehow could get past that, then they have to go play the Sixers. The one problem on this team is interior defense. So you're going to have them go up against either Giannis and Bam, and then if they can get past that, Joel Embiid. So I will caution people into really looking at the Nets as a viable option to come out of that Eastern Conference, because every team that they go up against, assuming that they slaughter Boston, which I think they will, is going to exploit the major weakness of that team. And a guy like Harden, who fumbles a lot in the playoffs, Mike D'Antoni really kind of running the show as the assistant coach, a guy who fumbles a lot under the playoffs. These guys don't necessarily play a lot together, you don't figure out chemistry in the postseason, I would really caution people into, kind of buying into this Nets thing that they're going to run through the Eastern Conference, because I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I think an interesting point too, when you look at that, Bucks Heat, Jimmy Butler said he's feeling dangerously locked in. And I think that is super, super dangerous for that Eastern Conference, because we saw him do it in the bubble. When Jimmy Butler wants to take over a game and he's got people buying into his system and the way he plays, which is just you hustle till your feet fall off, they're a really dangerous team. And I think this Bucks team, Giannis literally in an interview the other day said, I don't know. It could be the same result as last year. I don't want to sit here and tell you that we're going to make it to the final. Like, he literally sat there and said it could be the same as last year. So coming into a playoff matchup against Jimmy Butler with that attitude, I think that already spills disaster for this Bucks team. And I think I already took the line at the Heat to come out of that. I think it's at like +2 something. And I think that's great odds for Jimmy Butler and the Heat. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, if you listen to the podcast, which I would ask everyone to do, but if you are a consistent listener, you know that I'm a Miami Heat fan. I got my hero jersey on. I got
love it. Steez. That's a Steez jersey.
Banner back there. Heat are +240 in this series. They washed through the Bucks last year. Washed through them. And look, I've been pretty high on the Bucks all season long. I think getting Drew Holiday and PJ Tucker kind of gives them that edge that they didn't have before. But if there's any big upset that you're expecting to see in this first round, look at that series. The Heat give the Bucks trouble every single time they play, and they wiped through them last year, even before Giannis got injured. The one game where he got injured was the only game that the Bucks were able to take in that series a year ago. So it's not that Giannis is going to be dominant against this team. Budenholzer on the hot seat going up against one of the best coaches in the NBA in Eric Spoelstra. I really don't know.
Yeah, Eric's got chops.
The only thing that I'll say, because I do like the Bucks, if the Bucks get past the Heat, they're in a really good position to win the Eastern Conference, because they match up so well against Brooklyn, and then it'll be a dogfight between them and Philly. But the one series where they can slip up will be this first one against the Miami Heat.
Yeah, and I would be dangerously cautious with assuming that, just because LeBron and AD are playing well, that the Lakers could make it out of the West, because I think some of those Western Conference teams could possibly turn up the heat a little bit on those Lakers. But, we'll have to see. I think honestly, I'm really excited for this NBA playoffs, because I think it almost feels like the league's rejuvenated. They're out of the bubble.
Agreed.
They played a full regular season, and now it's playoff time, and you're playing in your arena. So I think if not anything, it's going to be a great playoffs for the fans, because I think the players are feeling it. They're more like, the one thing Giannis said is he was like, you got to dangerous lows in that bubble. You'd beat a team or you'd get beat by a team, and you're seeing those players when you're walking back to the hotel, when you're walking back to your room. That hurts the psyche when you see a guy that just dropped 20 on you and you got to see him walk around the hallway. That hurts the psyche every single day, and you can't leave that bubble. Now they're back in their homes. They're back in their home cities, and they're back in their arenas playing in front of their fans. I think it's going to be a great playoffs. So I'm really excited.
It's going to be super exciting. And you know what? What's the one thing that we've asked of the NBA over the last couple of years? Is that we need more parity. And, after seeing the Warriors go on this run, and the Heat went on the run before that, and now over the last 2 years, we saw the Raptors and the Lakers win. I have no idea who's going to win the NBA championship this year.
No, me either. Not clear cut.
I'm saying the Lakers, but the fact that we have so much uncertainty, the fact that the team that won the NBA Finals last year is now a 7 seed in the Western Conference is just so great for the league. It's going to be so exciting. That's my computer finally coming back on. And
let's go.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be super exciting, and no one really knows what's going to happen. We could see a ton of upsets in this first round. We could see all chalk, especially out of the Eastern Conference, where, you have 3 really, really good teams. The Heat are in that tier right below, and then a bunch of young teams that are going to be really exciting. That Knicks-Hawks series is going to be
that's going to be one of the best.
Fun, and you really don't know what you're going to expect. We get to see Trae Young in the postseason, a young Knicks team led by Julius Randle that no one really knows what to expect from him. defense wins in the playoffs, and they have the best defense in the league. So
best defense, and they play like a team.
yeah.
That's why I love that Knicks team. Be careful of teams in the playoffs that play like a team. Because when you don't have one guy that you got to shut down, it's really hard. That's why the Heat went so deep last year. They played like a goddamn team every single night. Every single night.
Yeah. I'm heavy on the Knicks. I love the Knicks this year. I love them. I love them.
Plus 105 against the Hawks, and the Hawks aren't going to have Cam Reddish. So I don't know why you're not going with that. Madison Square Garden sold all the tickets that they're eligible to sell.
It's going to be so electric. MSG in the playoffs. MSG in the playoffs.
And
it's going to be electric.
A New York guy, it's going to be so sick. I can't wait for it.
So good.
You know, going to have a lot of good stuff coming for the podcast, and it's going to be a great time for NBA basketball.
I love it. And I encourage everyone to go listen to his podcast. He's got a lot
of JP Hoops Pod.
JP Hoops Pod. He's got a lot of insight. Clearly, he just gave you some of it, and he's talking like that on every single episode of the pod. So be sure you check it out. JP, it's great to have you on here, especially because you just gave me a lot of tips and tricks that I'm excited to use as we head into playoffs. And I think we're in for an exciting couple weeks of basketball here, and I love that. So I am very excited. I'm happy that we were able to get you on here. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. And we'll try to have you on again. Maybe we'll do a little check-in in the middle of playoffs to see how we're all doing with our bets.
Yeah.
Done. Love that. Love that. JP Hoops, what a guy. You can find the JP Hoops podcast anywhere where you find podcasts, I think. Spotify, YouTube, anywhere. He also is on the Book It Sports app. You're going, what's the Book It Sports app? Let me tell you really quick. Sorry, I know you always get shocked when I do that. I'll slow it down. You're probably sitting there wondering, what's a Book It Sports podcast? You're probably sitting there going, what is the Book It Sports app? Let me tell you the Book It Sports app. The Book It Sports app is the one-stop free application for all things sports fans and sports bettors alike. It is a social media scrolling platform where you can do a couple of things, but let me break down the most important for you. You can post the feed, your picks, your analysis, your memes, or whatever the heck you want. You can also follow your friends, follow some maybe influencers like Liv Moods or Mikey Over or the JP Hoops Pod, who's just on here, is also on the Book It Sports platform. You can track look at that. You can track your action that you're placing on the sports books, and we keep a record on your profile so all your friends and all your followers know if you're the real deal on this or if you're just capping. And we also have one of the most important features. If you're going through a cold streak or you're struggling or you just need a little bit of help, you can buy expert picks from our Book It verified handicappers. I know I just got involved in a community parlay with 2 cappers on the Book It Sports app. Shout out Live Locks, you and Jade Out Bets, because they're always there to help. Always there to help. Download the Book It Sports app free on the Google Play Store and App Store. What are you doing? This has been Prop Talk. Spaghetti.